Hello, beach friends. I can't think of a better way to start my day than to watch a sunrise over the Gulf of Mexico. Well, let me correct that. Watching a sunrise while searching for seashells and other beach treasures would be the epitome of a perfect morning. And I'm going to bring you along with me as we check out Lighthouse Beach on Sanibel Island. This beach just reopened again from Hurricane Milton, so it is a little beat up. However, all the mollusks that make seashells could care less. I know because I interviewed several of them and they told me they aren't concerned with parking or renourishment. So, in addition to sarcasm, I will provide identification of 35 different species of seashells we're going to find today, and I will pepper you with random information I know. In addition, I will try my best to explain how I go about finding those elusive Wentletraps. So, if you're ready to see what all is out there for us today, let's go to the beach. So Lighthouse Beach opened maybe just a couple of days ago. I'm grateful because the main parking area is actually closed. You have to park. There's a little area around the corner, but I'm just happy to be here. We're going to see what all is here. Now, it does look like it was recycling day for someone. And I am not above checking out someone's recycling. I like turkey wings, so it's a little pitted, but you know what? I don't know what kind of day I'm going to have today. All right. Some good, hopefully I'll find a couple of specimens kind of like that on my own. I kind of have a thing. I do like to kind of find my own shells. It's just, I don't know, just a little bit more fun. Oh, the fighting conch. So that is that is my favorite shell. It took me a while to commit, but that is my favorite shell. If I look at my collection, that is the one I have the most of, the fighting conch. It's kind of common. I don't care. I still like it. All right, what else? Oh, an egg cockle. Fun. Those are relatively uncommon, although lately I've been finding them more and more. And no surprise where it gets its name. Kind of looks like an egg. So that is an egg cockle. And that is a tinted cantharus. Fun little shell. That's about as big as it's going to get. And it pretty much looks like that. If it degrades a little, the shells look a little different. And so it does for me anyway. It's taken me a while to kind of really identify all the different kinds of species. So Lighthouse Beach brings out the shellers, the photographers, the fisher people. Okay, apple murex. So that's kind of what I mean. So this has been here a little while. It clearly is still an apple murex, but sometimes when these shells kind of wear down, it's hard to tell what they are. And I'm trying to figure out what this is. Okay, it's a fence. Okay, so yeah, one of those fences got washed over and there's sand in there. So like I said, they are still cleaning up, but I'm really happy that they at least allowed some of us to come here and check things out. Ooh. Oh, a beach bowl, also known as an Atlantic giant cockle. I do like these shells. I think they're kind of fun. What else do we have here? Oh, nice lightning whelk. Delightful. That is the Texas state shell. Oh, yeah, I love the tops of those. So that's a lightning whelk. Gorgeous example of that. The larger ones will be the females. They need more energy to get big and lay those eggs. That is a Florida prickly cockle. And I love the interior. Yeah, that's probably there's a couple of shells where I really like the inside color. I'm not going to keep that one. It wasn't pristine. I like to keep I can be picky. And you'll see in a minute. Now, oh dear, yeah, this beach got pretty beat up. So you can tell just from all the erosion, the quickly running water really kind of unsettled things here. But did leave a couple seashells behind. Okay, no surprise, those big brown things, those are pen shells. Oh, here's a little pear whelk. Nice color on that too. When they get bigger, they don't really keep that yellow color. They kind of get more white and brown. Nice little pear whelk though. So that's one of the two. How many whelks can we get? Lightning whelk, pear whelk. Maybe we don't get all that many whelks. And I did come here early. I really wanted to see what kind of sunrise we were going to get. So hopefully I'll keep peeking because it changes. So I'll kind of keep peeking and see what that sunrise is going to do. Although it does look a little cloudy, I'm probably not going to get one of those really, really fun ones, but it's still nice to be here. Yep, that is a mess. That is wonderful. So no surprise, lots of the cockles, the common shells. Oh, buttercup lucine. This was pretty much screaming at me. I love the really rich colors of some of these shells. The buttercup lucine is one of them. So yeah, it'll vary. So the one on the left clearly is much more yellow. So that just kind of entertains me. One of the things I like to check out when I come down and just kind of compare the shells. And that's a Dosinia. Lots of barnacles on that. And Dosinia is one of those shells too that they'll be, yeah, there's another one. Oh, buttercup lucine. Oh yeah. I don't, do you find that interesting? I don't know, I just do. I just love the colors. I see that yellow prickly cockle there too. Yep, yep. Yep. I just find it really interesting that these, gooey creatures can make these really vibrantly colored shells. Oh, here's two of those Florida prickly cockles, and then again, just the variation. I like seeing that. And then on the top, it'll probably be a little bit lighter on the light colored shell as well. Okay, that's a calico scallop. Sanibel has great scallops. Okay, mostly common stuff here. Pen shell, lots of cockles, your ponderous arcs. Now, to be fair, I have to admit, I don't spend a lot of time up in the rack line. I do typically spend, or at least I try to spend more time by the water, but winter's coming and I will be pushed up onto the beach. It's not just a lot. Oh dear. Yeah, so that's why the parking lot is closed over there. Oh, cool. So this is a chalky lucine. So it's in the same family as the buttercup lucine. It's just a lot more bulbous, kind of like beach bowl light. Oh, those are cool. I don't find those all the time. So that is a chalky lucine. Very cool shell. Oh, here we go. So here's a paper fig. Oh, look how beautiful. They feel really light and delicate. Yet somehow they end up intact here on the beach. It's crazy. So that is a paper fig. Beautiful. Oh, so pretty. Yeah, zoom out. Yeah, sometimes the clouds will take on that red color. It's probably not the kind of sunrise we're going to get today. That's all right. Like I could complain about this, right? It's so beautiful. All right, another nice colored scallop. This is a rough scallop. You'll notice the little wings on the bottom are a little bit asymmetrical. The calico scallop, which is much more common, they have symmetrical little anterior wings. Oh, see that? Now that is a calico scallop. And doesn't that look like strawberry lemonade? I don't know, when I saw the colors of this, I thought that's what I thought, strawberry lemonade. Oh, it's so pretty. Yep, so they're renourishing right now. Actually, literally right now, you really can't move around too much at Lighthouse Beach. They're piling sand into the water at this point. So just check before you go. And that, to me, literally looks like a sunray Venus clam. Which came first, the sunrise or the clam? Oh, so pretty. Okay, turn my attention back to the water here. This is a chestnut turban. Cool shells. The turbans are a whole family. I think we, at least here in Southwest Florida, only really get those chestnut turban shells. A lettered olive. Yep, I'm checking the shine. That is a shell where you can literally feel how shiny the shell is going to be. So that's a lettered olive. And I picked up a couple of the apple murexes. So you can kind of see, yeah, the one on the right, it appears to be, yeah, it's been here a little while longer. So it's really kind of starting to get more rounded. Where the one on the left is a little bit fresher. Although apple murexes in general, they can't, if they're in really good condition, they have lots of nice texture to them. So those are both apple murex shells. Now this is a dark sereth. Now what's kind of fun about this, so that right there, that's called the siphonal canal because that's the front of the shell. So the pointy part, that's the back or the posterior, but the animal comes out of the opening of the shell. It took me a minute to kind of like wrap my head around how that makes sense. And that's a little button snail. I would love to see a live one of those. So that just a tiny little thing, it's about that big, little button snail. And that is a lightning whelk, but it has an inhabitant. Now, I can't quite tell. I think it might be a dimpled hermit crab. Not exactly sure. The other one I saw, the claws were a little bit different, but clearly we have a little shy critter here, so we're going to put you back where I found you, out in the water. Yeah, and I figure for now I will enjoy being in the water while I can because soon, I mean like really soon. And it's not that the water gets too cold, it's that the air gets cold. So if the water's, what, in the 70s, that's fine. But when you get out and it's in the 50s, yeah, no thank you. I'll just stay in my boots, dry up on the sand. Oh, there's another beach bull or Atlantic giant cockle. Now something happened with this guy, this fella. So you can see there was some sort of event. And they do kind of work like that, like kind of like trees, like you can kind of see what kind of life they had. So something happened where you can see the shell really started growing differently. Interesting. And we have a Dosinia. So it's one of those that are them and the paper figs. After storms, you will see them, lots and lots of the Dosinias. So fun shell, fun crafting kind of shell. And I figure I'll check out what's up here. Probably wasn't finding too much in the water. I figure I'll just come up here and take a peek. Okay, same with the cockles and your common things. The pen shells are there. And that determines how quickly I move down the beach. If there's lots of stuff, I barely move. If there's not too much, I do tend to kind of cover a little bit more beach just to see if I can find anything interesting. Now I did notice there's another rack line, so I'm going to come up here. And this kind of exploring is what allowed me to find some seahorses after a hurricane. So I probably do miss a lot of opportunities by not coming up here. Look at the coquinas. Oh, it's like a coquina graveyard up here. Wow. Yo, and the hinges of those shells are relatively sturdy, but if you wanted them to, dry a certain way, you'd want to put them out the way you want them to dry because that hinge will get brittle over time. And if the shell is closed and you want to open it, you could snap it. So just, well, today I don't know that would really matter. There's so many of them. You can kind of take your pick of what you'd like. Wow. All right, note to self, kind of cruise up on the beach sometimes and see what's up here. Lots of coquinas, wow. Oh, beautiful. That's a calico scallop, and white's my second favorite color, so I really do like the white shells. My first favorite color is blue. So many, oh my goodness, fun. So yeah, I spent some time picking coquinas, so I will be able to bring a couple of those home today. Yay. All right, so let's talk about the pen shell because I don't normally talk about it. So this is a sawtooth pen shell. They just are very, very common, so I don't pay a lot of attention to them. You'll see that nacre on the inside there. Kind of fun, that's something that's just not appealing really, in my opinion. Some people might think they're beautiful. They create that nacre, that beautiful mother of pearl. So for me, it's a little counterintuitive, but still just another fun thing. Okay, another chalky lucine. That's the beach bowl light, beach cup, a small beach vessel of sorts. All right, I'm going to keep it cruising back down to the water. See if that's going to help. All right, we have a channeled duck clam. Now these are also really delicate. They're so thin. You can see, I can see my finger. I mean, really, really thin shell, but yet somehow, again, they too survive intact. Really, really interesting. Oh, there's another calico scallop. And the beach stuff, I always warn you, just be careful. Some of it picks off really, really easy, but you don't want to be cutting yourself. I know that's no fun. So some of the beach stuff picks right off. There's a shark eye. There's a member of the moon snail family. You can see the sun is kind of coming up too. So that is a little shark eye. Oh, that's so pretty. So yeah, the sun is coming up. You know what I don't see in the water? Shells. Yeah, that's pretty flat. Not too much going on in there. Oh, still gorgeous view though. What a beautiful morning to be out here on Sanibel. What did I see? A little scallop. Yep, calico scallop. The variation in the colors are really, really fun. The oranges tend to be a little more, not necessarily unusual. I don't necessarily say rare, but that's another, that's a diet strawberry lemonade shell. So calico scallop. Oh, another beach bowl. Oh, that rich color. And then typically the top will also be very, very dark. So if the interior is very, very dark, the top will be too, just kind of fun. And then let's check out this little tiny shell here. Now, I don't typically pay a lot of attention to these little guys, but I think this is an Atlantic abra. And they, maybe one of these days, I'll kind of really get into the smaller shells. I do find tinies. We are going to look for Wentletraps in a little while. That's one of the there's like nut shells or nut clams, like other neat little shells here. This is a jingle. And I recently found out they don't come in black naturally. Look at the baby's foot there. So that is also called a baby's foot. And this shell was probably buried for a little while. They'll come in gray. I mean, that kind of looks black to me. So shells that are buried will become discolored. Okay, there is a Florida prickly cockle. Oh, it's so pretty. That melon color, no purple on that one. Beautiful. Just it's common, a Florida prickly cockle, but I still really like them. Oh, okay. So here we have a lightning whelk. Now, is it alive? I don't know. And I don't want to disturb live animals, but I also don't want to leave the shell here. So by the time I figured out what was going on here, all right, it's alive. I'm sorry, critter. And it's so close. Yeah, I figured I could try to kind of bury it. You know what? No, I'm just going to bring him out to deeper water. I'm sorry, critter. Again, I was just worried that somebody else would take the animal. I do worry about that because the animals should stay at the beach, but not everybody knows. Lots of people try to tell me dead sand dollars are alive and you can take live things. And we'll talk more about that next week. But as far as talking right now, I'm going to be quiet and allow you to have some beach time. All right, we have ourselves another calico scallop. All right, want to see the colors? Oh, neato. It's almost got white dots. Unlike that other one I found not too long ago. It was like a strawberry shell. Oh, that's so pretty. It's things like that that just delight me. I think it's so interesting. All right, what am I chasing? There's something. Oh, there we go. So that is a carapace from a calico box crab. I know people do collect all sorts of different things. I have yet to figure out how to really keep the color on those carapaces that rich color. So for now, I just don't collect them. I got plenty of stuff to worry about when I come home with treasures, believe me. So here's another buttercup lucine, bright, bright color. For me, the brighter, the better. Now, I did come here at low tide, and I do want to try to take advantage of that to find some Wentletraps. Now, by the lighthouse has always been pretty lucky for me in the past, so I am going to head back there and try my luck. Here is another one of those calico scallops. I do enjoy the ones, any kind of orange in the shell, really beautiful. Oh, and another, don't worry, I heard you, Buttercup Lucine, I heard you. Oh, that is full fat with extra calories. Gorgeous. Yeah, just a lucine, but oh, I just think that's so pretty. So a buttercup lucine. So I'd mentioned earlier that sometimes shells that are buried can change their color, and typically if it's low oxygenated sand, they'll get very, very dark. So scallops and other shells, they don't really come in those colors, at least here in Southwest Florida. Garbage. So I'm gonna take that off the beach. But I do like the black and discolored shells, a little more special. They had to kind of like cook. They're buried treasures. Okay, so here's an apple murex. This kind of got its nice angles and its textures. So this one's in pretty good shape, a little bit better than the other ones we'd found earlier. Lovely apple murex. Bright orange, true tulip. Well, it is a true tulip. Yeah, they're so fun to find. They get much bigger than the banded tulips, and the colors, they can really come in beautiful hues of reds and oranges. So it's broken, but that is a true tulip. I likely will leave that here. Okay, there's another calico scallop with some of those barnacles on it. And you know, to each their own. Some people like to remove the barnacles, some people like to leave them. I used to always remove them, and now I don't. Now I think they're kind of cool. So calico scallop with some barnacle friends. Oh, so they normally don't come in yellow, the calico scallops. Oh, that's pretty, at least here. So I get excited about anything that's just a little bit unusual. I do spend a lot of time at the beach, so if I see something unusual, that definitely piques my interest. All right, yeah, it's kind of well, hopefully the beach will be cleaned up soon. I know beaches all up and down the west coast of Florida are still recovering from Milton and Helene and all those miserable hurricanes we had. Now, this is an Atlantic giant cockle. This is alive. Blip. And these critters filter feed. So no surprise, there's a little bit of water in that clamshell. They would close up real tight and kind of conserve their energy until the tide came in or out. But this fella, yeah, we're going to place it. You never ever throw the live critters. The critters are attached to their shell with a muscle, and you can damage that muscle and really kind of hurt the animal if you throw them. So we always place our sea friends gently back into the water. Oh dear. Now this was a little weird because this is a fighting conch, and I don't know why somebody bothered drilling a hole in it. I mean, the animal was open in the aperture there. The operculums of the fighting conchs, they don't have a way to really kind of close themselves tightly in their shells, the fighting conchs. So it's just kind of unusual. Shell nerd stuff. Sorry if I nerded out on you. Oh, an auger. I do love a good auger. Yeah, making sure it's empty, a little seashell in there. Nope, nothing. Itty bitty hermit crabs do also like those shells. So when shelling in the water, you always want to be careful. There's another chestnut turban number 2. Neato. I do tend to find, well, I haven't been to Captiva in a really long time, but they do tend to find those turbans up in Captiva. Now, is that a dark seraph? Is that a stocky seraph? It looks different to me, but you know, look, sometimes shells can just be a little bit different. So that seraph is kind of sticking out to me. I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, there's another very lovely pear whelk. Like the one we found earlier, it's got the beautiful kind of yellow undertones. Little baby, and they will get bigger. So some shells are juveniles, and some shells, when they get so big, their pear whelk will get a little bit bigger, about that, maybe even a little bit bigger than that. So that is also a pear whelk. Clearly has been hanging out here. It's definitely a local here at Lighthouse Beach. So it's got some beach stuff. Yeah, we're not going to collect that. I just wanted to kind of show you. So it's more of an adult pear whelk. Next up. Oh, it's so cute. So that's a turkey wing. I love the turkey wings. So it's just a little one, and they're kind of funny, the turkey wings. I have to look at the underside to see if it's broken or not, because they're shaped a little unusual. So yep, not broken. Another turkey wing. Oh, I don't know why. They're also called zigzag arcs, because they are members of the arc family. Okay, here's another tulip. So this is a banded tulip. Very common. Just still really fun to collect if you ask me. I have a whole bunch of those too. So that is a banded tulip. A calico clam. One of the 2 fancy clams that we have. Yep, they'll sometimes be brown, sometimes they'll be more of a blonde or like a yellower color, but that's a calico clam. So not too many people here. I kind of have the place to myself. Although the beaches are getting much more crowded. Winter is our season down here, so that is when we get lots and lots of people, which is good for business and everything else. So I don't mind sharing. There's plenty of seashells to go around. Oh, here's another apple murex. Yeah, that's in nice condition. So it's got this nice texture. It's all its little pieces and whatnot. So no lace murex today, but here's another lovely apple murex. A worm snail and spiny jewel box, which is, it's a kind of spiny jewel box and some worm snails. So spiny jewel boxes are one of my favorite. I love spines, anything unusual textures. I had to get a little grabby or I would have missed out on this little Florida horse conch. So that little orange shell there, that's one of the 2 shells that get big, big, big. So that's a little horse conch. There's another moon snail. Did I miss it? Nope, got it. All right, another shark eye. All right, that is a true shark eye. Is it Paul? Yeah, it's kind of Paul Newman. So the ones with the blue eye, they call those Paul Newman shark eyes. And this is what I call, now I wouldn't say perfect, but Wentletrap conditions, when you start seeing the stuff in the water, and I do not know why. I wish I could tell you. It just is. Okay, so that is a fly speck seraph that trips people up all the time. Believe me, it used to trip me up until I actually started finding the Wentletraps. Now these conditions, like, they look good, but if I could just hit pause, that would be great. Now that Wentletrap is very different than all the other ones we're going to find. This one, I've found one similar to this before, or else I might have missed it, because it really doesn't look to the naked eye on the beach. I know on screen you can tell it's a Wentletrap. This you can tell is a Wentletrap. That's an angulate Wentletrap. Oh, there's another. Look at that. Did you see the micro shell? Oh, I can't. On the beach, I can't. I can't see it when it's that tiny. So that is another Wentletrap. Now, as far as finding them, I try to look for the conditions like this. And that's what I mean about when the water's moving too quickly. They're so hard to kind of grab. So here's another one. I don't know if that's the one I was chasing. So that is also an angulate Wentletrap. And I only know that because I asked someone to identify these for me. So they're all angulate with the exception of that first one that I picked up. You can see the little blades on it. That one is a little bit worn down. Let's see this one. This blades, yeah, those are a little better. So I'm looking for that little baby triangle shape, and then by the time I pick it up, I can kind of tell that it's a Wentletrap, except for that many-lined one. You know what I would suggest? If in question, bring it home, break out your magnifying glass, and then you can figure it out. Now, I know Lighthouse Beach has Wentletraps because I found them here before. But anytime I kind of see those conditions, I will start kind of poking around looking for the tiny shells. What do we got here? Oh, it's a baby's ear. It's a little broken. A baby's ear. Still exciting. I'm going to keep that. I do. It's, at least here in Southwest Florida, they're not terribly common. Oh, that's a good one because it was just steady. It was just sitting there. So that's another Wentletrap. So I do tend to find kind of like on the water's edge, which is why I like, yeah, if the water at low tide, if a boat comes, it's going to really disturb everything, and that makes it that much more harder. But it's so fun. It's like a challenge. Yep, there's one. So they're here. It's funny because they moved. All right, that one's broken. Can I get, oh, look at that one. So that's also an angulate. I know it's like shorter, but that is also, those are both angulate Wentletraps. Yes, I'm lucky I found what I did. Yep, I'll be happy with those two. Yep, happy I'm finding Wentletraps because the conditions are good. They're not quite perfect. All right, that is a fly speck seraph. So again, I've tried, I've been doing this for a little while so I can kind of tell, but like I said, in question, bring it home and then you can figure it out. Another angulate. Oh, nice blades on that. The little Wentletrap blades. Oh, they're so fun. Now, someone else had asked me as far as the season for them. And me, I guess I don't really find them in the winter because I don't really go in the water like this. So that is another little angulate Wentletrap. But maybe this year I did get boots. So I'm going to be walking a little bit in the water this year. I kind of got a different setup. I keep trying to learn and refine all the things I'm learning and then pass this stuff along to you. So Lighthouse Beach is open. There are Wentletraps here. Just you might not be able to explore the entire beach right now. Just check before you go. And I will definitely remove a little bit more garbage off the beach. So luckily there really wasn't too much. It was only 2.1 ounces of garbage, but in total, I've managed to remove a little over 61 pounds of garbage from our beaches here in Southwest Florida. Now today, all the fun things. So those are Florida fighting conchs. And there's one olive, there's a Gulf oyster drill, there's some banded tulips, some shark eyes, that paper fig, the kitten paw, cantharus, and operculum. These are calico scallops. Then we have a rough scallop, some chalky lucines, there's a jingle, a channel duck clam, some chestnut turbans, apple murex, buttercup lucines, there's an egg cockle there. There is a button snail, some horse conchs, a NASA, spiny jewelbox, Florida prickly cockle, yellow prickly cockle, cross-barred Venus clam, some coquinas. So yeah, I did clean up a couple of those. So we did get some Atlantic giant cockles, lightning whelks, rose petal talons, dark seraph, maybe a stocky seraph, turkey wings, dosinias, pear whelks, a calico clam, there's a shark eye there, some quahogs on top, some worm snails. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, then my favorites are the baby's ear and the Wentletraps. They gave me some challenges today. And so you can tell the one here, that's different than all the other ones. Well, maybe you can't tell. It's actually a little bit hard to see. But yep, those are my good treasures for the day, those Wentletraps, that baby's ear. But all in all, I always have a great time when I go to the beach. Patreons, thank you so very much. So basically, if it wasn't for Patreons, I would need to stop at some point and talk to you about some other product I'm selling. And I really just have dug my heels in and said I really don't want to do that unless it's something that appeals to you, or I think that would be part of a beach combing experience. So Patreons, thank you so very much. And everybody else that watches, you help me too. I just want to say thank you. Now, next week, I'm really kind of excited about editing that video. I learned a life lesson, and I don't know if it's something I'm going to be able to, impart on you, but I guess we're going to see. So I'm going to tell you a little story about that. We'll see that next Sunday. Until then, I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you again next Sunday.